Dr. Vance here, and just shooting from the streets of Bangalore, India, and just finished with a church, preaching at a church here, and I realized that one of the core principles of effective leadership and impactful leadership is actually found and illustrated here on the streets of India. Sorry for the horns, it's just one of those things that people do here. They do an awful lot of, in fact, they use their horns probably more than they use their steering wheels. But as you walk through effective leadership, one of the core fundamental principles to effective leadership is focus. So here in India, as you walk along the streets, people ask me, how in the world do you put up with the smells? How do you put up with, you know, the garbage? As you can see behind me, this is just kind of par for the course here. And India can be seen through a myriad of filters, but one of those things that you struggle with is the stuff that has a tendency to distract you. And if we break down what it is that's distracting us and why it doesn't seem to work, it's because that most of the things that distract us are all about us, aren't they? And it becomes down to a matter of focus. As a leader, we can, and as an effective leader, we can focus in on the garbage, we can focus in on the smells, we can focus in on all those things that our five senses detect that we don't like. We can focus in on those things that are frustrating to us and that make us anxious or worried or upset. And that draws us away from being the impactful leaders that we are called by God to be. But if, on the other hand, we decide to rearrange our personal filters so that we see instead in India, as I have discovered, the wonderful people. Oh my goodness, I've just fallen in love with these people. I've had families, Indian families, that have literally adopted me. I mean, they cry when I leave, and their kids give me hugs, and it's just, and if you focus in on that, you focus in on the deliciousness of the food, you focus in on the wonders of what this culture is all about, all of a sudden, the whole concept of the smells and all the rest of those things have a tendency to fade into the past or the distant, or into a place where it doesn't bother you anymore. And so effective leadership is all about that. It's all about the filters that you put in your life, the filters that you put in your ministry, the filters that you carry with you on a day-to-day basis so that you can be the man, the woman of God that God has called you to be. And it takes discipline, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. There's so many Americans that will absolutely refuse to deal with these kind of things because they get stuck on the stuff that's all about them. It's all about their comfort, their smells, their sight, their feeling. They've got to have the right. They've got to have the right hotel. They've got to have the right transportation. They've got to have, and they miss the glory of what God has surrounded them with. They've missed the joy of being able to experience the opportunities that God places in their lives and around them every single day. And so, as you go forward, and as you're a part of the opportunities, I love this. These are all banana leaves. You should have seen that. Anyway, as you walk through that, don't miss the joy of what God places in your life, because you've set up filters that filter out those things and cause you to concentrate on the issues that keep you distracted and keep you focused on yourself. So establish godly filters. And godly filters are focused on two things. First of all, Lord, what is it that you value? And second of all, Lord, to whom have you sent me? And if those two things are what fill your mind and fill your life and fill your desires and fill your vision, then the rest of the stuff, oh yeah, it's there. Is it uncomfortable? Sure, at times. Is it hot and is it sweaty and is it all the rest? Sure, absolutely. But, if our first focus, if our first goal is what God desires and what He loves, and in our second goal is to see what we can do to be a blessing to others, then as soon as those opportunities kick into play, and all the rest of it just kind of fades into nothingness, and you just go, oh yeah, I was hot. Oh yeah, I was thirsty. No, I was hungry, but you know what? You should have seen the people whose lives were changed because I got to be Jesus Christ, the hands and feet of Jesus Christ to them. So, challenge today. Are you willing to keep your filters and your focuses in the place that God would have you keep them? Have a blessed and a wonderful day.